everybody. Welcome to the launch episode of Sci-Fi Toys for Blue Collar Boys. I'm Kay, this is Jay, and this is partially our collection. Today we're going to discuss what I call the 3Bs, which is Bounty Hunters, Bruticus, and Boba Fett. We will also be diving in on some of our wonderful clone commanders who are sitting in front of us. Right off the bat, let's just get the big man out of the way. This is the Jinbao Deformation Warbatron. I got him on eBay for like $150. It was like $185 after I paid taxes and shipping. That breaks down to $37 per liter class size Decepticon Transformer. He was a great purchase. He's very articulate.
And massive.
Massive. He lives up to the oversized value. We went ahead and added the 86 series Coronation Starscream to the front to give you a rough idea of just how big he is. He is an amazing purchase. I would highly recommend him to any collector. He's just a lot of fun. He was a lot of fun to build. He was a lot of fun to own.
I'll be honest with you. It looks complicated.
It wasn't as complicated as it looks, really. It did take me like partially the day, but that's what I like to do.
Yep.
Because of course it's coming overseas, the instructions were in a foreign language that I of course don't know. But that doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that I had to improvise and basically treat it like an IKEA piece of furniture. You know, if you've ever bought IKEA, you know what you're dealing with. There's also plenty of videos out on YouTube that will help you transform both them individually and transform them into Bruticus.
Nice.
But that's not what we do here. We're not going to take up your time. A little backstory to him, just on a Gen 1 level. If you remember that in the original Transformers, once Megatron gets sick and tired of Starscream, he throws him out officially for the first time. Starscream starts plotting his revenge. He goes off to an Autobot prison where the sparks of 5 Decepticons are basically locked away, never to be used again. He frees them, finds 5 chassis, and starts building what we now call the Combaticons. Blast Off, Vortex, Swindle, Brawl, and of course the body of Bruticus Onslaught. Now, in some of the other videos that we've posted on our YouTube channel, I have measured Onslaught. Onslaught, keep in mind that he values at about $37, is 18 inches long. That is probably double, maybe even 2.5 times the original Onslaught size. I would definitely tell any collector, even if it doesn't keep the value, I would tell you you need this as part of your collection. It has been a blessing to have in my collection. I've really loved it.
He's very impressive.
Thank you. And I would just recommend him to just about anybody.
Nice.
But I don't want to spend too much time on him. He is amazing. But we're going to move on to the next thing. So Jay here has a deep love. We both have a deep love for Star Wars, but Jay has a deep love for Star Wars commanders, especially Commander Fox. Now, Jay, can you give us a little backstory to, at least on an action figure level, Commander Fox?
So, Commander Fox, I like his color because he's, red and black with the white clone armor. The other thing that's awesome about him as a figure is he's weathered. Doesn't look like there's paint chipping on it, but he's got weather on his actual armor, it looks like. Pretty awesome. I like him. I like all the clone commanders and the clones too. A little background, I started collecting Star Wars Legos because I was big into Legos as a kid, because I thought it was cool that you could build something. You start, with one piece, you end up with this massive, whatever it may be, a fortress, a house, a car, whatever it is.
Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon. So I started collecting Star Wars Legos. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, they're way too expensive now, and they don't give you any like really good minifigures anymore, like they used to. So I pivoted and went to the Black Series. I did see them in the stores, and I wasn't really an action figure kind of guy. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. And, a few of my friends, they started getting me the small ones, the 3.75s. So I have a little collection of that. My first Black Series that I ever purchased was Paz Vizsla, the heavy armor. The heavy, we call him.
The Heavy.
Who's played by Jon Favreau. And this
Played or voiced?
Played.
He actually got in the armor?
Yeah.
God bless you, Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
So, there's 3 versions of him, I guess. There's the regular version, which I have, which came in a box similar to one of these. There's also a carbonized, where he's got like a metallic look to him. And then there's also the deluxe, where it's Jon Favreau. He actually has a removable helmet, and it's Jon Favreau underneath it, which is pretty
I love that.
So, anyway, continuing on with my commanders here, I recently rewatched the Clone Wars, and pretty much determined that that's going to be my go-to for Star Wars action figures. If I see a clone or a clone commander on sale or at a Walmart or a Target, wherever, I'm going to pick them up. Our Walmart around here kind of sucks. They don't have much. They have the same figures every week. I did pick this up online. This is the new Clone Commander Cody, Revenge of the Sith, 20th anniversary. He's not coming out of the box. He's staying in the box. This Clone Commander Cody I have right here is actually the archive version. I took him out so I had one that I could display. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as that goes, we'll talk about Boba Fett now.
Well, before we jump on over to Boba Fett, who is truly the beginning and end of all bounty hunters everywhere, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Black Rashawn.
Oh, here we go.
Black Rashawn is pretty much, like, obviously he's a Wookiee. Anyone who knows me knows that the Wookiee is my spirit animal, and that I feel like Black Rashawn is the darker version of Chewbacca. He is what happens when you push a Wookiee too far. He was originally a gladiator turned bounty hunter. He has quite a lengthy history. He has first been sent by Darth Vader to hunt down Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obviously, he failed miserably. Can't blame him. Obi-Wan Kenobi's the man. But then, he started working for the Hutts, and then eventually he ends up with my man, Boba Fett. He is just massive. He is angry. He is the best. I absolutely love the Wookiee culture. I've gone into detail both off-screen with this man. One thing about Wookiees that most Star Wars fans know is that Wookiees will not use their claws in anger. It's a sign of shame. It's a sign of them, regressing back to being an animal. So it's a mark of shame. They'll always use a bowcaster or a weapon or a sword. But they do use their claws for building, for sculpting, for just about anything work-related. And I really love that about them. I think that the Wookiees don't get enough time on screen to really explain that they are a building culture. They build their own houses out of the trees of Kashyyyk. And unfortunately, that is what marked them nearly for death by the Empire as slave labor for whatever they wanted, whether it was the Death Star or Star Destroyers, or just to be hunted as animals. It is very sad. If you've read any of the books, you know. So that is pretty much the kind of world that Black Rashawn came from. and he eventually frees himself of it and finds himself working for Boba Fett, which I think is the best boss you could possibly have at this point. He is the bounty hunter. He is a daimyo. He is the man. Just to give you guys a little background, this is my Blue Series prototype Boba Fett, which originally he was supposed to be a super stormtrooper. I am sorry, I'm going to knock everything over because I am a klutz. Let me stand everybody up.
Attention!
Attention! This is the way. Get up. You got your butt kicked. Get up. So Black Rashan finds himself in the hands of Boba Fett. Boba Fett was originally supposed to be a super stormtrooper. I'm really glad that they changed him to a bounty hunter, because I think if we didn't have him as a bounty hunter, we would not have what we now know as the Mandalorian race. That has been both shown in Clone Wars, that has been shown in Rebels a little bit, that has been shown just through every video game you could touch. And I really love both Boba Fett and the Mandalorian race. I have a huge connection to them now. You know, as a kid, you want to use force powers, but let's face it, nobody has superpowers in the real world.
Right.
But we all have guns.
Yep.
I have nothing against guns.
No.
I have my own gun license. Guns are great. Saying that, let's get to some of our bounty hunters. Dengar.
We have Dengar here. First appearance would be
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back. You see him standing there with Forlom, Zuckuss, Boba Fett. I forget the other one. Oh, IG-88.
Who's the lizard guy? I keep forgetting his
Bosk.
name. Bosk.
So
Bosk is a problem. All right, Bosk's entire species is a problem.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sure you watched Book of Boba Fett when Black Rashan rips one of Bosk's species basically in half, rips his arms off.
Yep.
He deserved it. They are a very crude and very vicious species.
They hunt for sport.
They do, and
it doesn't matter.
If you watch Clone Wars, you know they hunted Ahsoka. They hunted Jedi younglings.
Yes.
They hunted many different species. They're no good.
No.
So to watch them get the arms ripped off, I was okay with that.
That was fantastic.
That was amazing.
Then we have Cad Bane.
So I have a personal gripe with Cad Bane. He is amazing for who he is.
I thought he was awesome.
He is an amazing bounty hunter. I do not question his ability.
He always has the answers for everything.
That's kind of what kind of ticks me off. And I'm not going to lie. When Boba finally kills him, spoiler alert, when Boba finally kills him at the end of Book of Boba Fett, I am thoroughly pleased. That old man never gave Boba a chance when he was a kid. First of all, let's give a little Boba background. Obviously, we know Jango Fett. He was the DNA sample for every clone that was ever made. He was the only clone to not get any additions or upgrades. This kid lived alone after his father died.
In front of him.
Killed in front, beheaded in front of him, then builds his own armor.
By a badass Jedi. With a purple lightsaber.
I love me some Samuel L. Jackson. I ain't gonna
Mace
lie.
Windu is badass.
Mace Windu waited 2.5 movies to say, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi. Sorry, Mace, you were a little late. You should have just dealt with that at the beginning of the war.
Yep.
That has nothing to do with Samuel L. Jackson. I love me some Sam Jackson. All right? But I got some problems with the Jedi Order of old. They were really lazy and stupid. Except for Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is the man. Getting off a topic, let us talk about Cad Bane. Cad Bane seemed to have an answer for everything until his death. And that kind of ticked me off. I'm glad it was Boba. I'm glad it wasn't a Jedi. Yeah. I think it was satisfying. Getting to that, my favorite Boba Fett is the Book of Boba Fett outfit, where he integrates the Sand Person outfit with his own armor.
Repainted.
And he has repainted, he's sharp, he repainted his jetpack, which if you look over here on Jay's version, which is the more accurate version, there is a yellow, blue, and red, which is from Jenga's original armor that he eventually fixes. But I really love this outfit. I really love the fact that he's a daimyo. I really like the fact that he carved his own little kingdom out of Tatooine. And I'm looking forward to there maybe a second season of Book of Boba Fett. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope so.
I think they announced it.
All right, I'll be honest.
It's
I don't keep up with the announcements. I actually,
will double check that.
You know, we do have lives outside of playing with our toys,
Yes, we do.
even though we don't want to.
Yes. If money only grew on trees, everybody would be rich. But we'd have no trees.
This is true. It would be the Lorax,
Yep.
and we would cut down all the trees.
Yes.
Getting back to it, I absolutely love the Mandalorian culture. I love the fact that they all stick together. I love the fact that they're coming together. I am looking forward to the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And more importantly, who's this character's name again? I know him as Bill Burr. He is my favorite character.
Migs Mayfield.
Migs Mayfield, also known as Bill Burr. Love him as a comedian. Migs Mayfield is probably coming down to becoming one of my favorite characters due to the fact that A, you didn't kill him off, and he does have some of the best dialogue in The Mandalorian Season 1.
Yes.
Oh, and Season 2. Actually, he comes
Season
back
2.
Season 2. So, big shout out to Migs Mayfield. Saying that, let's also give a big shout out to the two men sitting in the front, both Lord Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin, you may be a son of a bee, but
You were badass.
you were badass. I mean, you
were the
did-
villain of villains.
I read your book. Your book was amazing. The idea that you actually spent time hunting Darth Vader and him considering you a challenge says a lot about who you are as both a person and your character. Jay, do you have anything left you want to add?
I love Darth Vader.
Everyone loves Darth Vader. It is a rise, a fall, and a rise again story that nobody was going to forget. I mean, he was a great Padawan. He was a great Jedi Knight. He was a Sith Lord. He was a great Ghost.
They need to make a specific movie, okay, of Darth Vader, right? A year after he gets his armor.
I think so. What you're saying is they should base this
Just
show / movie on
Just Vader.
the Sith Lord, Darth Vader.
Yep, him with his mind, you know, in the missions he goes on for hunting Jedi, training Inquisitors, right? And they should rate it R. I mean, you got Deadpool, Wolverine.
I mean, I think PG-13 is probably as far as you're gonna get in Star Wars. Let's be honest. Like, it's partially
Just do it. Everybody's gonna watch it. It's gonna sell out.
It's still gonna be PG-13.
It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, there can't be no cuss words. There can't be any
That's fine.
sexual content, which is fine. Let's face it. He's kind of lost that ability. But he is.
So what's a probe droid?
I don't want to find out.
All right.
All right. I mean, a probe droid. I thought he probed the planets, not orifices. I don't need a probe droid. But then again, we all saw that Princess Leia was tortured in A New Hope. I don't want to know how. Saying that, is there any final things you want to say?
Final things is anyone can be a collector. You just have to look for deals.
Not only look for deals, but if you have a
And a
particular character,
Budget.
whether it's Transformers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or He-Man or Star Wars, Voltron, whatever you want, go after it because life is short and that feeling of being a kid again is totally worth it. I mean, we both have Voltron. He has Voltron back here. I'm going to be assembling Voltron in later episodes. I just feel like we spend a lot of time as adults. We need to be reminded that at one time we were kids, and having that kid feeling again it's just a great feeling. It's better than anything you're going to find
And life's
anywhere.
too short.
It truly is. You know, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So go out there and collect and enjoy it. And don't look for the price. I'm not asking you to go out and go into debt. You don't need the most expensive toy on the lot.
No.
You need something that really lights that fire within you. For me, it is Transformers, even though we're spread out with Star Wars today. I love Star Wars. Transformers was my toy as a kid. I know a lot about the lore. I know a lot about the individual characters. And if I don't, I usually look it up. And that's a lot of fun. So I wish all of you luck out there with your collecting. I would totally tell you, go collect, go collect, go collect. And more importantly, if you are living in the Massachusetts, South Coast, South Shore area, please check out the Emporium of Retro and Interesting Collectibles. They are at 447 Turnpike Street, Unit 1 in Southeastern Mass. It is one of my most favorite places to go. You will walk through that door, and if you don't feel like a kid again, I don't know what's wrong with you. I walk in there, and it isn't a question of whether or not I'm going to find something. The question is whether or not I can afford everything I find. And that's really a great feeling in itself. This is Sci-Fi Toys for Blue Collar Boys. I'm Kay. This is Jay. And we are wishing you a good night.
Peace.
Peace.